Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Oh my god, did you see my hair? I have to go. That's atrocious. Literally the worst thing I've ever seen in my whole life. I'm embarrassed. I swear I usually do such a good job with myself, Tanner. Not this time. Well, the thing is, to be fair, I think I threw my tanning mitt away, so I couldn't find it when I was doing my tanner, and I was like, well, I need it done right now, so I just used my hands. Literally just fully used my hand. I thought that if I just washed them up real good right after No, I'm just finishing filming a video and then I'm coming. What was I saying? Literally, what was I saying? I need a drink. Can somebody get me a drink? Okay, but like I was saying, I thought that if I just washed them real quick right after I was done, they'd be fine, but no, they're not fine. But yeah, hopefully this mess will be gone within a couple days. I swear my hands are so clean. I washed them a million times. They're not dirty, they're just literally stained. Okay, they're stained. It's so bad. So you guys know Fox News, right? Duh. Maybe if you're from outside of the country, you don't know who Fox News is, but I feel like most people do. You know, Fox News is the super conservative, super right-wing, not typically the type of news broadcasting network that is supportive of trans people. Let's just say that. Usually anyways, but things are changing. Even Fox News is evolving. Maybe it's Miss Caitlyn Jenner. Now that she works at Fox News, maybe they're like getting with the times. Ew, I cannot give her the credit for that. No. Fox News posted a news story about a trans guy and people are freaking out. I mean, first of all, love that. Good job, Fox News, for posting a trans guy. We love that. We'll watch a little bit of the story in a second, don't worry. But my favorite thing is the Ben Shapiro's and the Matt Walsh's, their response to, you know, Fox News talking about a trans person. I say the Ben Shapiro's because there's like multiple of them. So yeah, for today's video, we're going to watch a little bit of that story, but mostly we're just going to be laughing at the ridiculous comments that these people are making. I post new videos every single week here on my channel, so if you guys are not yet subscribed, go ahead and do that right now. Go ahead, I'll wait for you. And I have my nails back this time. I hope that's not like the most atrocious noise ever. Hopefully that's like a little bit of ASMR. I'm not a big ASMR person. What about you? Did I say I would wait for you? I'll wait for you. But people always comment that they miss my nails when I don't have them, so you're welcome. Are you done? Thank you very much. And yeah, with no further ado, let's get right into this. I never thought I would say this, but this pro-trans Fox News segment doesn't really roll off the tongue very naturally now, does it? Before we get started, I want to take a quick second to talk about today's sponsor, which is Blueland. Here on the Samantha Lux channel, we are always trying to be as eco-friendly as possible. Blueland is a company that has actually created super easy to use, eco-friendly cleaning products. Blueland uses no single-use plastics in any component, from bottles to the tablets to the wrappers to even the shipping materials. It's all single-use plastic-free. So here's what the bottles that they send look like. This one says glass and mirror on it. This one says multi-surface. I also have this nice heavy glass foaming hand soap one. I'm very excited about this one, as well as this one for the bathroom, which I have already mixed up. You can see it's all diluted and, you know, absorbed. What's the word? But something that I found really, really cool about Blueland is the way that their products work. With Blueland, you actually keep these bottles and you just get these little refill tablet things that you put in some water in the little thing, and it just makes the cleanser for you. You just fill whatever bottle you're going to use with warm to hot water, you drop in one of the tablets, and then a few minutes later, no stirring, no shaking, none of that, it's ready to go. By doing this, not only is it more eco-friendly, you know, you're not wasting plastic bottles every time you need to get new soap or new cleanser, but it's also a lot more affordable. You know, each of these little refills are only like $2. All their products are also made with clean ingredients, free from chlorine bleach, free from ammonia, and they're also, of course, vegan and cruelty-free. Love that. So yeah, if you need some new cleaning products, if you want to be more eco-friendly, and if you want to support my channel, definitely click on my link down below. You can save 20% on your first order. Thank you so much, Blueland, for sponsoring today's video, and now let's get right back into it. Okay, so this is the tweet that has inspired this video. It's from Ben Shapiro, and it says, "This would be absolute despicable insane." I thought it was going to be a typo, but it's not. It's just like several adjectives all together. It says, "This would be absolute, despicable, insane lunacy if I saw it on CNN or MSNBC. To see it on Fox News is a complete betrayal of anything remotely resembling conservatism or decency," crying. And it's actually like a quote tweet of a tweet from Matt Walsh, and it says, "I've appeared on Fox News many times. I appreciate the platform they've given me. If what I'm about to say ruins that relationship, so be it. We have to call this evil lunacy out wherever we see it, especially on our own side." This insane lunacy. Oh, I'm excited. I'm excited. I love me some insane lunacy. What about you guys? You guys like insane lunacy? Clap if you like insane lunacy.
Clap if you think she should suffer.
Okay, let's watch a little bit of this clip.
14-year-old Ryland Whittington is a typical Southern California teenager. And the Whittingtons, along with mom Hillary, dad Jeff, and sister Brinley, are a typical family. The only difference, though, in Ryland's eyes, is what this family can mean to the tens of thousands of kids under 18 who identify as transgender.
We put our story out there so people could see that like there's another family out there that is going through what we're going through, or there's another family who's proud of who they are.
Oh my god, okay, so first of all, the lunacy is a bit much for me. It's a bit much. I don't think I can handle the rest of this clip. This young boy, this young trans boy, is just like, yeah, we just put our story out there so that, you know, other people don't feel alone. You know, other trans kids know that there's other people like them. Other families with trans siblings or trans children, they know that they're not alone and stuff like that. Lunacy. Absolute despicable lunacy. My eyes are burning. That might just be because I'm a trans though, so you never know.
Before Ryland could even speak, he managed to tell his parents that he is a boy.
I could just see that it wasn't him trying to be a brat. It was like painful. It was truly painful for him to have to wear feminine clothing and for us constantly telling him that you're a girl.
And unlike some trans kids, when Ryland came out at age 5 a few years later, he had the full support of his parents.
So there's always been kids that have known that they're transgender immediately. You know, as soon as they have the words to vocalize how they're feeling, they've said that they're trans. Or maybe not trans, but they've said that, you know, I feel like a boy. I feel like I'm a girl. That's always happened. There's always been kids like that. It's not this new thing. It's not something that we're seeing just because, you know, being trans is more widely accepted. It's literally just something that has always happened. But now that trans rights is kind of the conversation to conservatives, they latch onto anything that will make people feel, you know, disgust basically with the trans community. This community wants to hurt women, they want to hurt children, they're out to get you, etc. Those are all very, very common, very, very powerful messages that the right, that people like Matt Walsh and Ben Shapiro love to push. So it's just not a surprise to me, and I mean, you'll see the tweets from Ben Shapiro in a second, that these people are going after this young child and saying that, you know, this person is evil, this person is lunacy, or whatever they're saying, because that's all they can do. That's all they have to latch onto is, we have to make people afraid of the trans community. We have to make people think that the trans community is out to get their children. They're out to, you know, make all their children transgender and transition. When in reality, the trans community is not out to get anybody. We don't have a quota that we have to meet every year, like a number of new trans people that we have to, you know, meet a deadline or whatever. It doesn't matter. There could be 0 new trans people. That'd be fine with me. I'm good. The kid viewing this is either trans or they're not. Okay, this is not going to sway them one way or another.
We were confused like most people are. We thought that gender and sexuality were the same thing. It took us a while to figure out that those two things are different and that children actually do recognize their gender identity very young. Some of them, not all.
But they listened to Ryland.
This is such basic, innocent stuff to be talking about. Like, it's not that intense. They're like, we got through it. We discovered that, you know, we could love our kid no matter who our kid was, and this is a very normal thing. That's it. And Ben Shapiro and Matt Walsh or whatever are like, oh, we have to call this out. We have to put an end to this madness. We have to put an end to this insanity, blah, 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 blah. Like, maybe y'all should just focus on figuring out what a woman is before you go crazy on Fox News.
But they listened to Ryland and to Hillary's conservative faith.
For me, it's just a deep spiritual belief that you believe in God and he, you know, created us the way he wanted us. Well, then yes, he created Ryland just the way he is.
You know, I'm not a very religious person, but she called y'all bitches out. God made Ryland who Ryland is. How are you going to say that God made God made God wrong? How are you going to say that God made Ryland wrong? Maybe you should trust that, you know, he knew what he was doing when he made us transgenders, okay? Don't say transgenders. That was a joke. Only I can say transgenders.
There was a father who was sitting across the table. He says, you have no idea how lucky you are to be here, which kind of took me back. I didn't at that point consider myself lucky to be there. And he said, you know, our child had displayed this gender dysphoria or this gender misalignment at the same age that Ryland has. And we didn't listen and we pushed back.
That pushback led that child to turn to self-harm as a teenager, which 60% of trans and non-binary kids engage in, according to the Trevor Project. More than 50% consider suicide.
That for me was the turning point. I didn't want to see Ryland go through that.
I'd rather have a living son than a dead daughter.
That is what these people are fighting against. That is right There's nothing else to say. These Ben Shapiro ass bitches are fighting against what these people are doing, which is trying to lower the amount of kids that are self-harming. That's what they're fighting against. Play the clip.
Allowing him to live authentically and true to himself and be who he really feels like he is. When you get to know Rylan, you see just how proud and confident he is of himself.
And that's pretty much what the rest of this clip is about. Just them saying that, you know, accepting that our child was transgender was vital to our son's happiness, was vital to our son's life, which is so surreal. Like, you can look at the statistics, the facts, whatever you want to look at. Like, when you support your child when they're LGBT, the chances of them hurting themselves or taking their own lives dramatically declines. I think it's like 16/17ths of a chance or something like that. I don't know the exact number, but it goes down by a lot. So let's just go back to this tweet from Mr. Ben Shapiro. This would be absolute despicable, insane lunacy if I saw it on CNN or MSNBC. To see it on Fox News is a complete betrayal of anything remotely resembling conservatism or decency. Okay, now that you've seen the clip, like, this is like weird, right? He's doing too much. That's not even it. It's like a whole thread. Every element of this video is how do you say that? Propagandistic? I can't fucking say it. Propagandistic, dangerous garbage. The report states that this biologically female child was choosing her gender before she could speak. This is madness. First of all, Twitter, this bitch is misgendering. Blocked. Ban that bitch. Ban that bitch. Just kidding. Just kidding. Ban that bitch. Now that fucking Elon Musk owns it though, like, let the misgendering happen. Nobody cares. I love when they say biologically female. Like, they just can't admit that somebody's trans. They can't just say trans guy or something. They have to, like, clarify that this person was born a woman. The report states that Rylan's parents began social transition at the age of 5. I don't think they did. I think Rylan began. Anyways, it doesn't matter. This is child abuse. The vast majority of children who display signs of gender dysphoria desist over time. Babe, can we just like... Ugh. Conservatives are so fucking dumb. This is child abuse. That's my Ben Shapiro impression. This is child abuse. No, it's not. At least not according to like any fucking one. That's like me saying like, oh, you didn't let your kid eat a chocolate bar? That's child abuse. Like, you can't just make things up. You can't just say things are child abuse because you don't like them. Let's just clarify. A social transition means that you change the child's name and pronouns and like maybe what they wear. There's no medical intervention at all, no puberty suppressants, no hormones, no surgery, anything like that. It's literally just like, okay, well, we can call you Susie instead of Jackson. Literally, it's nothing. It's not, I mean, it's something. I don't want to be like, it's nothing, but it's not that big of a deal. And so if this gender dysphoria did desist over time, like he's insisting happens to a lot of children, they could just, you know, no longer go by a different name and different pronouns. It's not like they have to reverse medical interventions. Okay, you want to go by Jackson again? Okay, period. The report is absolute horrifying propaganda. Okay, we got it. We got the propaganda. You don't have to keep saying it. We've got mom citing her Christian faith to justify the perversion of biological identity. We've got the radical gender theory activist Trevor Project Stats claiming that childhood transition is the only way to prevent suicide. You can't just say these stats aren't good and then not provide any that like counter it. You're like, yeah, all the stats out there are fucking bullshit. But that's all we got. So I'd rather have a living son than a dead daughter is, again, propagandistic sloganeering. There is no credible evidence that transition alleviates suicidal ideation among children who identify as LGBTQ+. That's not right. That's literally just wrong. That's not correct. Here. We've got dad talking about living authentically by hormonally transitioning a biologically female child, transition that if continued will result in biological sterilization and or breast and genital mutilating surgery. Girl, too much. Like, it's just so strange. You're all up in this person's medical business for like your own weird reasons. Like, imagine being like, oh, you inject them with insulin. Oh, just live authentically, just suffer. I want to know if Ben Shapiro's on any medications. And if he is, cut that bitch off. Cut him off. He rambles a bit more in some more tweets and then concludes the thread by saying, Fox News is too important to conservatives to be weaponized on behalf of the most radical leftist propaganda imaginable. Propaganda that aims directly at the mental and physical health of children. They should terminate whomever is responsible for this agitprop abomination. Aren't these the people that are always like, cancel culture is bullshit? they shouldn't lose their job because they think that all the gays should die. They shouldn't lose their job for that. And now he's like, fire that bitch. Cancel him. He says this propaganda aimed at the physical and mental health of children, which in reality, I mean, he's not wrong. This was an attempt to make a difference in the mental and physical well-being of trans children, but not in the way that Ben thinks. He thinks this was put out there to like convince children to be transgender or like convince parents to transition their child or whatever weird things he thinks are happening. All this was made to do, I mean, I don't really know what it was made to do, but all I can imagine it was made to do and all that it's going to do is help those families with trans kids feel like they're not so alone. From my own personal experience, being trans is a very, very scary thing. It can feel very, very isolating, and knowing that there are people out there like you that have success stories is incredibly impactful and incredibly helpful with coming to terms and really accepting and loving who you are as a person. To be honest, I don't really think Ben Shapiro has the mental and physical well-being of transgender kids at the top of his mind, in the front of his mind, whatever you want to say. I don't think he really cares, but I mean, hey, that's just speculation, am I right? Okay, guys, I think that's pretty much it for this video. Shout out to you, Fox News. I did not expect that from you, but I'm proud. I am. I'll give you this one. The more you piss off Ben Shapiro, the more I'm gonna like you, so keep it going. If you guys like this video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up down below. Subscribe if you are not already and you would like to be. Like I said, I post videos every single week here on my channel. And yeah, other than that, I think I'm going to go. So thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, everyone.